Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another topic related to shell script where we will learn how we can create do until loop. If you don't know about loops, then maybe you can check out the previous session where we have already discussed all these things like what is uh, loop and why we create loop, what are the requirement of creating loop, right? But in this session, mainly we are going to talk about the do until loop. As I mentioned that in previous session we have already covered the do while loop. So first and very important thing is that what is the difference between do until and do while, because we know one approach, right, through which we can repeat the set of lines of code as per our need, right? But if we have that method, then why we are using another method which is do until loop? So to explain this thing in a easier way, what I will do, I'll create one example for you where we will utilize do until loop. We'll understand the flow. After understanding the flow and the script, we will see the difference between, or even before the difference, we will see the output, how it is printing the output. And once everything is clear, then in a shorter way, like I'll just tell you the one line difference between both the loops, and it will give you a clear understanding of do while and do until loop. Okay, so yeah, I think now we are good to start for this. So first of all, I'll write here work lnk. Now what work lnk will do, it will open work with object link screen. From here, if I do page down, you will see there is one directory that I always use for my coding purpose. So I will take option 5 here to open it. Then we have sharmit.sh file, which is used to create the script. One very important thing, if you don't know how to make your script file executable, then please check out the previous session. There we have already discussed, in one of our session we have already discussed how to make the script file executable. Okay, for now we are just focusing on the looping statement. Okay, but this file is executable file. There is one command chmod that we can use in order to make the file executable. So this file I have already made a executable file. Now what we will do, we will one by one go through the each line of this script and we'll try to understand that do until loop. So taking option 2 here. Fine. So here you can see we are firstly we have put the multi-line comment which is like this, presented by session. Okay, so here you can see presented by section, which session is given by loops, session is given for loops in shell script. Okay, now below to this multi-line comment is just for the introduction purpose. Then we have first line as max equals to 20. Now what is this? As we are running one loop, and just for those who don't know, so who are not familiar about looping statement, let me explain you in a simpler way. Whenever you want to iterate a lines of code for a particular condition, then that thing is known as loop. Let me explain it another way. What we will do, suppose you can see this is the line, the value of index is index. Okay, this line I want to print 20 times. So what I will do, I will iterate it into 20 time inside a loop. So to make this condition, to make this looping statement, we need one maximum value. So here we have just declared that maximum value, which is 20. That means this loop will be executable 20 times. Okay, fine. Then we have index. As I mentioned that every iteration will be depend on index variable. So this is the index variable where we have initialized the value as 0. So for every iteration, the value of index will get changed and it prints the output. So this is the index variable. Then we are running the loop which is until test. Now if you check out other examples on internet, you will find that they are not using test variable. But please make sure to use this test expression, not variable. This is a command. Please use this text command because this is the only way through which you can evaluate these operations. Okay, otherwise it will give you error in shell script. So this is the perfect syntax, I would say. So I recommend you to please keep a note of these syntaxes, because I know that some of you are already familiar with looping statement and all this. But the main thing is syntax. Here the syntax is different. Maybe you have studied other programming language like CL or any other language, but there is some difference between those things, right? So that's why please keep a note of these syntaxes so that you can use it later whenever there is a need. Okay. So what we did, we just write until test dollar of index hyphen eq. What is hyphen eq? It's equal dollar of max. So it will check for the condition. If index is equal to dollar max, then it will go for do equal. Yeah, the definition wise, like I'll tell you later, but for now just focus on the syntax. Okay, because I want to compare it with while condition, so I have noted down something for you, so that we will discuss. Okay, but for now just see the syntax until test. What test will do, it will check for this expression, and then it will print the value of index is dollar index. So this index is just a normal text, and this is a variable which we are referring from the this is the value which we are referring from this index variable. Post that we are using let index plus equals to 1. So what it will do, it will increment the index value 1 every time. Okay, so let index plus equals to 1, and then we have done. Okay, fine. So this is the do loop, do until loop. Right now we are just using only one command here, but you can use it for multiple time. Okay, means if there is other logic also, you can put it up here. Okay, fine. So let's do a dry run. Here you can see. Okay, before dry run, let me show you the output first, and then we will discuss definition, and then we will perform the dry run. Okay, so let me press F3 and keep this path in mind, because this path we will need for executing the script using Qshell. So taking F3 here, now we will write here Qsh. Okay, so let's run the script. /home /Sharmit /tech Sharmit /Sharmit.sh and enter. So you can see it prints these values. The value of index is 0 to the value of index 19. Got it. Okay, fine. So we have got the output. Now it's time to understand the actual difference between the do while loop and the do until loop, because it looks similar, right? Okay, let's see what is the difference. So just to show you the difference, I have noted down only 2 lines, and it will clear your concept. So just read. The key difference between do while and until loop is do while loop execute the block of code at least once, then continues to execute as long as the condition is true. Clear? But until loop executes the block of code until the condition becomes true, continues to execute as long as the condition is false. So that means this condition will be executed until unless it becomes true. Okay, so right now we have index value as 0, maximum is 20. So 0 is equal to 20, no it is not, so it will print the loop, and it increment the value of index by 1. So this time it become 1 equal 20, no, again 2, 3, 4, 5 until 19. Suppose after 19 we got the value as 19. Okay, so 19 is equal to 20, no it is not, so it will increment the value by 1, and then it becomes 20. So 20 is equal to 20, yes it is, so it becomes true, and then it suddenly drop out from the loop, means it will leave the loop. So this is the difference between do until and do while loop. The do while loop executes the block of code at least once, then continues to execute as long as the condition is true. But until loop, do until loop executes the block of code until the condition become true, that is continues to execute as long as the condition is false. Clear? So yeah, that's the difference between do while and do until. I hope this part is clear to all of you. Now I'll quickly show you how we can run this through CL program. So for that you just need one variable. You can write DCL, take F4, provide variable name, type, storage and length. Then we will use chgvar, take variable name and the command, or the script of the path, then strqsh in the command variable. So what it will do, it will execute this script. Let's see, compile and call. So after a call, you can see it prints the value from 0 to 19. Okay, so this is how it works. I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session, we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.